Good morning. 9 a.m., August 5th on a Friday morning. I'm back from Studio H at Huntington Lake. That's why I call it H. I didn't do any broadcasting from there. I did join into the Ken Stout Live chat room. I guess that was last night. It seems so long ago because a few things have happened since then. All right, so let's get the ball rolling here. Today is Windows. It's been so long. Which of these buttons? Oh, yeah, this button. All right. Yeah, that brings me to here. So Windows Daily number 28, laptop problem and client internet failures. Of course, first we'll do a little review from yesterday. The live stream is running. Pop out chat. And thank you, Tony Wallow. $4.99 super chat. He says, nice game morning again, LOL. And he's referring to Dennis and I playing live streaming Fortnite this morning, which started 2 hours ago. We played for 1 hour every day, 7 a.m. Pacific time every day, except for Saturdays, and where we do 4:15 p.m. Tomorrow's gonna be a little bit different because Dennis is probably not going to be on the live stream because he's moving. He's got his new apartment ready. So there's some hellos there happening. I'll minimize that and come over to this next tab. So there was so much of the chat and the comments from the last Windows Daily was pertinent. I didn't even bother copying them over to the Microsoft Word document. I figured I'd just talk about them from here. So the Windows 27 Daily, when we were working with the HP all-in-one 34-inch computer, restoring backup image to a different computer part 2, and that wound up being 40 minutes long. Then I want to start with the chat room. Yeah, so the chat room then, part of the reason why I don't read from the chat each day that I do Windows Daily is because by the time the morning rolls around for the next Windows Daily, the chat from the previous day may not yet be available because YouTube takes a while processing it. And then also a lot of times the chat has a lot of comments in it that are chit chat between people and not really pertinent to the topic. But here a lot of them, most of them were. I think it's time for these companies to come up with universal Ethernet driver. Now, I'm just going to focus on the ones that are on the topic that we were dealing with, which was the image restored to that HP all-in-one. If it comes up being activated, yeah, so we weren't sure if it was going to come up showing as Windows activated because I restored a Windows 10 Pro image to a computer that had a Windows 10 Home digital license. No one struggles. Wi-Fi driver is not possible. If power was removed anytime during the process, so this is our theorizing why it was taking so long for that computer to boot is because that power cable in the back was a little flaky. And it's up. It's Doug. It's back, Doug. They were trying to let me know that the computer was back up. Rand was speculating that maybe taping the power cord to the back might help it. And at that time, when I saw that comment, I think I dismissed it a little bit, but you might have a point to it. Although I'm moving that computer a lot, so I'll be taping it and untaping it. But once I put it into position, it stays there. I may wind up doing that, Rand. Does this machine have a mechanical hard drive? The answer to that was yes, but it's a secondary drive. Dennis mentioning the chat phone, Tech Tangents chat phone. And I did go look at the link that Dennis provides down here, and I'm not attracted to it. It looks like every time somebody puts in a chat comment, it's going to ring my phone. No, that's going to go nuts. When you guys are chit-chatting back and forth, no, I don't like that. I'm not going that way. This is why when I repair a machine, do it right next. Yeah, he's referring to the long processes there to wait through. Suspect it's reorganizing files. Turns out that's not the case. I'm not going to tell you what was the case, why it was taking so long during this video, but that's coming up in a future video. Let's see, moving on. Task Manager. Yeah, and what we found out is the hard drive activity. the storage drive was 100%. And it didn't make sense. I had restored the image to an NVMe drive, right? Should be good. But then why aren't we seeing both disk and performance tab? That was spot on. Disk is crazy reorganizing. Yeah, I don't think so. Audio anomaly. Okay, on that audio anomaly, hang on. Other than the audio anomaly of having to clear my throat, I think I found that, Dennis. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little diversion here. I'm going to switch over here to, let's see if I punch the right button. Yeah, this is showing Adobe Premiere. In Adobe Premiere, I could see these spikes when I was editing the video from that last live stream. I found these spikes, and I believe what that was is this noise gate. Here, that button. This noise gate right here was on. And what a noise gate does is when the sound level is below this indicator, the microphone is turned off. And then when I speak, and I'll be silent here for a moment. So that noise gate, when the sounds are quiet, like my fan, the microphone is off. And I think every time that it would open up, I get this little tick here. It wasn't the big noise anomaly that Dennis and I are perturbed with, but I'm turning that, I have that turned off in XSplit for today's video. Here I'm just showing it. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the XSplit audio effects. Yeah. So I just turned the noise gate on and off. So you may have seen the difference. And when noise gate is on, there's a little tick sound when I start talking. I'll demonstrate that again. And then when I start talking, there's a little tick at the beginning. It's not real noticeable, but I think that's what those marks are. So anyway, I have Adobe Premiere open here for a different reason. We'll come back to that in a moment. Continuing. Oh, you know what? I should go take a look at chat and be sure that you're hearing me okay and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. It's popped out over here. Yeah, there's nothing there about audio problems. So then let's come back to here. Hard to tell exactly what it's doing. Main thing, yeah, what it was doing turns out not to have been the issue. Let the machine calm down. Sure, it sees the hard drive as the operating system drive. Yes, you were right there. It was seeing that we were actually booting on the hard drive. The spinning hard drive. 2 NVMe drives, PC can see them as 2. Your drive activity sky high, mechanical disk unavailable. That was not the case. The mechanical disk was available. It was the NVMe that was not available. And we did discover it, I think that on Tuesday. Please do what you're suggesting. Then for God's sake, let us know what happened. Yeah, I did prepare a video to show you what happened. I'm not worried about the hard drive. I'd worry about where the NVMe is. And that was right on target. Tomorrow we will stay tuned. Shameless plug. And then Catherine asked everyone to like the video. So let's come back to having me on the screen. Hi, I'm still here. I already prepared a video to show the results. I got the problem fixed. The process of restoring to a different computer is fine. It's quick, it works. There was a different problem, unrelated, well, kind of sort of related to the restore operation. And a little piece of it I don't have quite worked out. But I posted that. That was supposed to be Wednesday's Windows Daily. And I'll come over here and show it to you. If I come over here, here it is. It's called Windows Daily. It says in parentheses private now because I changed it to private just about half an hour before going live with it, or an hour before going live with it on Wednesday. I discovered a problem. This black screen is the problem. Watch what happens when I scroll through here. All of this black, no image. There is audio, there's no image. I come back here towards the beginning, there's video. I come back up here to this side, there's video. But all of this in here is black. Now, some of you are freaking out a little bit. Oh my God, 4 hours? It was not because of the process of restoring to a different computer. There were several other factors in there. Well, one of the things that's included in there is I did the upgrade from Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro. And so there's several other things in there that I did other than fixing the drive problem. And that was a surprise. What the fix for that was a surprise. It was an easy fix when I found it, but I've never seen this before. Vaguely rings a little bit of familiarity that I've heard of that before, but you're going to have to wait to see that video. No spoilers here. But I want to go back and show you what happened. Here's, let's close. Yeah, I'm on the right screen there. Close that. I think I can turn the picture-in-picture back on there. So I'm showing you Adobe Premiere here, and here's that area on that video. All the video is there. All the video image is there. But when I render it, and then what I did was I rendered it and then uploaded it to YouTube, schedule it, and then I looked at it before it was going to go live as a Premiere and realized there was a video problem. So I changed it to private. When I come back to, after I got back from Studio H, I checked it in Adobe Premiere, it's fine. I checked the exported image or the rendered image on my hard drive before it got uploaded, and the video problem existed there. Until I noticed that, I thought it was YouTube's fault. But no, it wasn't YouTube's fault. It was Adobe Premiere's fault. I haven't figured that out yet. I still got to go troubleshoot that. Now, these Windows Daily is about troubleshooting, right? So how am I going to troubleshoot that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it as a different project name, and then I'll cut out everything at the beginning and everything at the end, except for about 2 minutes right there in the middle where the video didn't work, and I'll try rendering just that. That'll be very quick to determine if the problem has something to do with the composition of that video. I don't think it is. I think it's that Adobe Premiere has problems with long videos. I've come across that before. Okay, so now, next I want to get back over to the comments on Tuesday's video. Here's Tuesday's video, because there's a significant amount of comments in there too. From Randy Israel, he thinks the hard drive is connected properly. Yes, it was connected properly. And the NVMe was connected properly. MS Info 32 will show BIOS in legacy or UEFI. That was a question that we had. Was that image in legacy mode? Was it MBR? No, it was not. It was UEFI GPT. So that was not the source of the trouble. Disk errors, that was not the source of the trouble. I gave up trying to, oh, this is Pineapple Road talking about his adventure into trying to get bootable Windows 11 installer with pre-installed software. Now, this wasn't on topic for that Windows Daily, but he's got a lot that he tells us here about his experience with doing that, and he was successful in the end. And I think he was successful to the extent that he now knows how to do it and can do it easier moving forward in the future, just like me with restoring an image to a different computer. Now, there's some replies in here too. There's Ran Israel replied, and Pineapple Road replied, Ran replied, and I replied also. Interesting reading on a technical topic that I encourage you to go read through that. Then let's take a quick peek and be sure there's no warnings from people in the chat. Nope, there isn't. Now then, I'm ready to move on to today's topic. Let's see, what was over here? That was the private one I told you about, and then that goes on to the Fortnite video. So let's get back to today. Laptop battery problem and client internet failures. So I'm up at Studio H, cabinet, Huntington Lake. I do intend to be able to do live streaming from there, and that's what I wanted to use the HP 34 for. I took it, I was rushing on Tuesday after the Windows Daily. I pretty much worked all day on it. Look, I got an over 4-hour video on it, right? And I did editing, and I packed to go up to the cabin. It was a busy day on Tuesday. I took it up there with me. I was rushed, throwing things in the car, throwing and going. Got up there, pulled everything out of the car, pulled the HP34 all-in-one out, put it at the position where I wanted to use it, and then I thought, oh, keyboard and mouse. I didn't take a keyboard and mouse with me. But fortunately, I took my old little Surface 3 laptop that really does a pretty impressive job with Windows 10, multiple tabs open, connecting remotely to my client computers. And that laptop has how much memory? Could it be 8 gigabytes of memory? No. Could it be, let's see, 6 gigabytes of memory? I gotta be careful I do this right so I don't do the wrong fingers. No, it's not. Could it be 4 gigabytes of memory? No, it's not. That computer has 2 gigabytes of memory. It's current on Windows 10 updates. And it's a little sluggish. Yes, it's sluggish, but it still works in a pinch for me, and that's what I had with me. And my routine, I take it to my clients' offices and do their work there. So I participated in the Zoom session on Ken Stout Live's channel last night using this computer with its camera and its built-in microphone. I had it plugged into electrical, and then after we were finished, I unplugged it from power and took it over to a chair, a big cushy leather chair, and I was setting up to play the audiobook that I listened to a lot of audiobooks. And I glance up at the screen and at one point, and I notice there's this little strange notch right here that I never noticed before. I thought, that's weird. Is that maybe for disassembling the computer or something? And I ran my finger down. I said, oh, wait a minute, that feels weird. So then I turn it sideways and I see this. There you go. You see the arc in that screen right there? And here's the other side. There's how it's supposed to look with no arc. So what happened is just during that time, probably when I unplugged the computer from power, the battery started functioning, right? Started providing power to the computer, and it's a 2015 computer, and it swelled up. That battery rarely gets warm because I don't run it off of battery power. When I go to client's office, I always plug it in. Now, what I would do sometimes is I was unplug it, close it up like that, and carry it to another desk, and that would put it into a low power mode. So anyway, this computer is toast. So I 2015, right? It's not going to be Windows 11 compatible. Replace it, don't repair it. And I went tinkering around with, what was that? Somebody brought up a website recently about a kit building laptops. I'm not remembering the name, but I'm going to look closer at that. I went tinkering around with a little bit, and I'm interested. So that's the laptop battery problem. So here the other item is a story from the trenches for the client internet failures. Yesterday, I had to rush pack the car up from Huntington Lake and drive back down to Fresno because a client called me while I was up there. Well, no, he didn't call me. Here's another thing that happened with a rush packing job to get up there. I forgot my cell phone charger. So once I realized I didn't have the charger for it, actually I brought the wrong charging cable. I brought a charging cable, but it turned out to be wrong for my iPhone 13 mini because I normally charge it from this induction charger thing where it just sits on there. And I've rarely ever used the wire. And so I brought the wrong wire with me. So once I realized that, I turned the phone off. I access my text messages online, and I use the landline up there at the cabin to call into my cell phone number to pick up voicemail messages. So I had to do that periodically through the days because those are work days for me. I was up there, I got up there Tuesday evening, I was up there Wednesday and Thursday, and then I come back Thursday because client calls me. I spent about an hour working with them over the phone and on Zoom chat so that they could use their camera and go around with things. We tried restarting routers. We tried restarting switches. It was only some of the computers that were having problems. Actually, she first told me most of the computers had the trouble. We tried calling the internet service provider. My client was on hold for 45 minutes. Then somebody picked up and hung up the phone without even saying hello. And later in the day, we had one of the other staff members holding on hold. And after, I don't know how long that one was, they also got hung up on. I do not like that internet service provider. It's not one of the major names. So anyway, all of that work, we could not find a solution. So I said, look, I'll just come back to town and I'm going to come in and deal with it. And I said, while I'm en route, I want you to go around to each computer because we discovered that the computers that weren't working had the wireframe globe in the bottom right corner instead of the computer monitor icon to indicate network and internet connectivity. So I said, go around and make a list of all the computers that have that wireframe globe. Got into town. I came home, put my equipment in the car because I knew I was going to need some replacement equipment. So I took extra switches. I took Ethernet cables. I took basically all of my boxes that had my equipment. I didn't have them with me when I went up to the cabin because I needed the space for that big 34-inch all-in-one and other stuff. But anyway, when I got to the office, she gave me this list, and I thought, oh, that's not very many at all. There was about 8 out of a 35-person office. So I immediately had an idea what was going on. In the past, we've had issues in that office with some computers having trouble picking up DHCP IP addresses. And we've also had some problems with them with some DNS issues. So I knew we had some computers in the office that had static addresses. Sure enough, I go to the first computer, I switch it to automatic DHCP for DNS and for IP address, and boom, problem solved. I could have talked her through all of those, fixing all of those computers easily. No, it would have been a nothing burger. So the thing that really would have helped there is if I would have questioned her first, how many computers? Because she first said most of them. And I think that she said that basically because she had people calling her having troubles. Well, once she gets a few people calling, it feels to her like it's most of them. So anyway, that was the story from the trenches. I'm going to go take a quick look at chat, see if there's, oh, let's see. I guess I didn't scroll down. So wasn't enough memory installed, and it wasn't a memory issue. Watching in my truck, get sound. Yeah, so nothing there that I really need to jump on right now. I'll look at it closer later, and I think that'll do it for today. So thank you for watching. I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Let's see if the Stream Deck button will stop the stream this time. Goodbye.